Hi everyone, I'm Tammy and thanks for coming back. I'm new to YouTube and today I would like to discuss introspect and my perspective on if you could be a god, what kind of god would you be? And this question comes from one of my classes that I have at night, and it's before a yoga class. Whoops, sorry. Before a yoga class, and the yogi is going through Patanjali sutras, and we just started the fourth one yesterday, and I think this was at the end of the third where my question came from about knowing how tough it is to be a yogi and basing that ethically on religious. I'm in America, so my religious leaders I'm talking about would be, pastors and priests and clergy of the like. And I guess where I'm going with this is knowing that there's a positive, oh yeah, that was section 4, that there's positive and negative balancing for our karma, right? And yogis I'm learning are on this neutral line, which would, explain Buddha and higher level, well, actually, all people in this area that are committed to what they do for the people and for their cosmic universe, our cosmic universe, and for us, all of us, whether we know it or not, um, cosmically or earthly, they're there, whether we know it, which is amazing in itself. But they can't have opinions. I don't think. I'm new to this, so I'm learning. But the question came up about being gods, and some of the classmates had brought up, could anybody ever see something that was remarkable? And, Yogi gave some great examples of, uh, I think, sages and monks, or, people in that category of holiness and godliness and the lives that they live and what their purposes, they found their purposes here on earth, to in my introspect of my learning on the topic. So it got me thinking. I felt sad at first because, learning that there's a God inside all of us, right? And knowing how hard it is to open that door to, and it's not about being perfect, and creativity's in there. Let me tell you, there's creative ways. And I don't know, I was a little sad because I'm like, well, you want to help people and do right things, but you also want to enjoy the life that our existence, myself as what I did, man, I enjoy having fun and laughing and being silly, but also what are expenses of some of these things. I love teaching, and I also see now that, watching my own videos on here, this is a great lesson. I would, there's so many reasons you get guided to do things, and mine was to do this YouTube. And for what it's worth, and wherever I turn out at the end, I don't know where it's going to end up, but I learned something every video. I see arrogance, I see righteousness, I see, things that aren't godly, but I feel like I'm in such an urgent spot to help my fellow humanity. And I misinterpreted a lesson from one of my advanced coaching classes. And the lesson from Coach Barry was that you have to be unreasonable to great risk. And to move forward. And I may have lost sight of what that meant because I thought it was a great risk to just get out there and go do it, right? And help people right away. But introspectively thinking about it further with this godly the God paradox, I think we could call it, because all of us do have God inside of us, right? We don't know what God looks like. We talk to God all the time. And we just don't realize that God gave us each a mission. And our job is to realize what that mission is with all of the experiences that we came here to experience. And then once, I believe this is where I'm going, this is my perspective on my thoughts, is that the great risk is giving and changing and simplifying and needs, wants, desires, defining all of those within us. This is for me. So I have to say that, to my dismay, I was sad yesterday all day, like, God, how could I even think that I wouldn't want to be a God, And Professor had said, some things, wouldn't it be great, if someone was coming to shoot you, that you could, jump inside them and shoot them before they shoot you and then get out. But then I'm like, yeah, that would be cool. But then is there karma there? And then it brought me deeper thinking to, well, we always have karma. We have to clean up, everybody. And it's not that hard, but how do you decide what's right? So in my God paradox conundrum yesterday, and we have artificial intelligence and algorithms, and there's microphones on everything. So not saying someone's spying on me. I'm saying that our data can keep track of, our data can keep track of what we're talking about or thinking about or clicking on, or they hear what's playing, it hears, I should say. And then where's the cosmic part come in, right? So I get a feed that starts talking about, out of nowhere, it's a YouTube video that shows up in my, I didn't seek, it just showed up there. So it talked about gods of the past and how cruel some of them can be. And of course, it's a point of view from the lecturer for the lecture that I was watching. And it had to do with a giant bull and putting people inside the bull. I think that may have been a king. And then they would, and I've seen this before, so that was a deja vu, which I still have to learn what those are, where they would start the fire underneath the bull. It was a bronze bull, so it would heat up inside, and then the people would die inside, and there would be horns, like tube horns, like those kind, inside of the bull. And humans would think that the bull was making noise, but it was really a human that nobody else knew was inside the bull screaming, right? Because they were getting burnt to death. And Zeus sent down Pandora and her box, right? For Hephaestus, right? That thing, that whole mess. So I was thinking, well, okay, I can accept there's all different kinds of gods. We in America are taught the Bible, and our preachers tell us what to think about who God is. I don't remember introspect teaching about where is God inside me, that kind of stuff. And so once I saw the bad gods, I think that was kind of my balance to my paradigm, my confusion that you had to be all holy or nothing. And how do you know what to give up? God tells you in your mind, right? Because we again agree that we all have God within us, no matter who we are. It's whether we choose to acknowledge it or not, right? God created everything. He created us. Otherwise, we wouldn't have made it through life. It's not the hospital or the doctor that makes you live. It's will. And if you were meant to live, we're here. And the will guided other people to help you or guided you with circumstances, right? That would allow that being immature, premature, that's it, premature children, stuff like that. And we're all brought here in a special way. If we do have a disability, whatever they may be, my door's still open on disabilities and labeling and classifying us. Just, we have an intellectually challenged animal, do we still treat it the same as all the other animals we have? The same with a disabled animal. We pick up the animal and carry it, or do the best we can to make that animal comfortable. A lot of things going on in here, but I was, so I'm a little nervous about the fact that living up to what we should have been living up to, and I know we're all capable of it. It's sacrifice, understanding, and will to find what our purpose is here. I've always felt like we were put here to do something. There's so many people I know that were near death. I mean, I had a near death experience, 2004. So what, 16 years ago. And one of my moms brought me down, and it was a light, and a tunnel and white. And I don't remember how she was dressed. I remember it was Mama Pat, and that she had her arm around me and she was walking me down, and I was in ICU room and big lights over. I remember seeing myself laying there, tubes everywhere. Yeah. And just knowing that it wasn't my time, and there's something that I'm here to do. I wasn't ready to go up there. So I was in the hospital for a medicinal error that happened in the hospital. So I think that error wasn't meant to happen to me, and that I was walked back down because I have something yet to do. I'm on my path to try and find what it is. It gets frustrating because I know I just want everybody to feel strong, and knowing after I came out of this that I received a lot of testing, and now looking back on it, I'm like, I wonder if they were looking for things, because now I know with all the quantum mechanics and now getting into the mindset of the yoga and experiences, which feeds into that also. Just knowing that there's something out there for all of us. We have to find it. I'm feeling that I'm told to find it. I have to find this. So thank you for coming on this journey with me. I have to say, because I don't know what it is. I have to learn to be more, I don't know, there's a lot to learn. And I, had a position where I was C-level leader, and my team and my facilities, everything depended on me doing my job to the best of my ability and keeping all my cogs oiled and pins in. And now, I don't know, it's only good for the past, Today is today. Today's our present. And what do they say? That's all it is today. Because what I did yesterday or last year or for 10 years, okay, I'm a specialist in it. Got that. expert. Okay, I'm going to go with that because solving those problems in that industry and what I did, you become an expert. Okay, or you can't keep growing and growing and growing like, we grew the company. So, a friend did tell me once, which I believe came from his inner God, I guess you could say, was, what you did for other people, now you need to do it for yourself. Get your own company and do it for yourself. And you can't. And it was very empowering. And I looked and I'm like, where did that come from? Because we were cooking dinner and it just randomly came out. So, I would say people bring you messages all the time. If something resonates with you, and I hope I'm not being righteous saying this, but, people bring me messages all the time that are solving a problem. Like this video that showed up on YouTube about all of the Greek gods and Roman gods, who all loved mythology. Whoever was into mythology, that's your thing. So I would recommend to kind of start just seeing what's showing up on your phone or in your YouTube or in your email. It's not all spam like we're meant to think. I think we're told that so that we don't seek and we don't search and we just leave it. You'll know when you're watching the news and something is just like, okay, that's silly. That's just silly. You don't have to say that's BS or start cussing like I used to do 4 months ago. Like, what the heck are you trying to spin to me? You just have to turn that off. So I stopped following a lot of stuff. I don't watch much television at all anymore. It's reading and doing what I'm feeling inside that needs to be done, which is learning all the stuff that I didn't learn because I was too busy learning my specialty, or let's be nice about it, right? I have to clean up more karma. If I could choose what kind of God I would be, so that's the name of this video, is if you could choose to be a God, what kind of God would you be? And that calls for a lot of thinking inside. But as of today, in this present, right now, in this state of mind, as I work on empowering myself, I did spend a great deal of my life empowering other people. So I believe in my self realization that empowerment is part of what I've been here to do. Patients, staff, sales reps, co-workers, colleagues, friends, family. The negative self-talk is big on yourself, and it caused me to jump on those bandwagons that I probably shouldn't have jumped on, because it was fight or flight. So it was fit in or be out kind of feeling. So I'm learning, I think that's what my coach from my advanced counseling coaching course meant when he said you're going to be unreasonable to great risk, is changing your surroundings to suit your purpose here on earth. And you figure out what your great risk is. I do believe that I started and have done a lot to simplify my wants, needs, desires. There's work to go. Holy smokes, I still have work to go. I know, but I'm listening. I'm asking questions. I'm learning. If you don't seek, it's not always easy to find, you can't see what you don't see if you're not ready to see it the right way, to receive it. I've had so many messages. I just sit here sometimes and look back and say, gosh, I got this. I've just all the messages I've gotten, and I'm like, they were there with me. We're not alone. That is cool. But the guidance, we've had so much guidance. I've spoken on a very high intellectual level for many years. In my industry, we have 12, 14, 16 letter words. Like 5, 6, 7 syllables. And sometimes stuff would come out of my mouth and I would just be, that sentence was perfectly appropriate and my mind was very busy or whatever, and the right words came out at the right time. So I'm hoping they're doing that here. So I'm going to say thank you for watching this video. I'm going to say that for today, my goddess would be a goddess of empowerment for myself for now, right? I don't know what I am. And if I'm a goddess of empowering myself, then that's who I am today. I have a lot on my plate. I'm busy. And I love you all. Thank you so much for coming and staying to the end to see my goddess. And who knows what I'll be tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have success with today, which I'm sure I will, because if you think positive that today's going to be great. I was nervous to get on here and start talking about what is it like to be a god. But you know what? I empowered myself to do it. All right. Mwah. I love everybody. Here we go. I love you. Random acts of kindness heal hearts and make people feel really, really happy. They can change a day. Smile. Even if you can't smile behind your mask, you can smile because your eyes are still showing, and we smile with our eyes and everything else still showing. So I love you so much, and we're here. Think about yourself, introspect, yoga. I have a video on yoga with links in it, where to get started if you are ready to start paying attention to your machine and its programs and what we're here for, what you're here for. How many times have you been walked down and maybe you just don't remember? I only remember because there was 5 people standing around me and then the doctors and the big lights, and maybe that's not why I only remember. I can't say that. All right. Thank you so much, and stay strong, right? For yourself. Be everything you can to unreasonable, great risk to change your life. And there's good part, but we got to start cleaning up our karma sometime, somewhere, somehow, someplace, little bits at a time. Or, get a life coach. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you another day. Thank you. If I'm blessed with one. Today I was blessed with one. Thank you. Bye-bye.